Brilliant. As I said, before we just kind of dive into this material, I just want to kind of set the backdrop about what we are beginning here. And I mentioned this briefly on Sunday, but if you're not here, the big dream is we would love to see, in the course of the next 3 to 6 months, 50 new people coming to the kingdom of God. Because we know that the heart of God is to see lost people be found and that the family of God grows. We'll be thinking about that a little bit tonight. That's about 20% growth for us as a church. And ultimately, whether that happens or not, it's all on God. But you know, this is about us being equipped and prepared to see a harvest. There's a load of sowing that goes on, and we're going to do some sowing, but we really want to see a harvest because the church is supposed to grow, the family of God is supposed to grow, the kingdom of God is supposed to grow. And so that's what we're really dreaming for, to start to see the next level of growth. We really want to break through the 300 barrier this year. And so there are a number of things that we're doing. And so in the next 2 months, every Wednesday evening after tonight, we'll be meeting in our life groups to work through this breaking news course. 3 times in May, 3 times in June. And we'll be looking at the first session tonight all together, and then the remaining sessions in our life groups. And Breaking News is a great course produced by J. John, which is all about preparing us and training us, equipping us for the challenge of knowing what the good news is, and then how we can share it ourselves. Because I think if I were to be cruel, and I'm not going to be cruel, and ask each of us, actually what we're going to do is we're going to spend time where each of you will come up here and for a minute you will share the gospel with the rest of the group here. And I'm sure that that strikes terror into the heart of some of you, just because the idea of looking at the rest of the group. But actually, it reveals an issue that we've all got, where if someone said to us, but what is the good news? What do Christians believe? We're not quite sure how we would answer that. And that's crazy, isn't it? Actually, the most important news in the world, we've got to find a way and a language where we can express to people the good news that we have and the reason that we have it. And so, you know, when you hear the word evangelism and being a witness and it strikes fear into your heart, and we'll be thinking about that tonight, then this is what this course is about, to build some confidence in us, that we feel confident to share our faith with people, and then invite them to some of the stuff that's coming up. And the big thing that's coming up, as we know, at the end of June, is our street party. And we want to actually, if we can, mail drop, put a leaflet through the door of every single house in the whole of Hitchin about the street party. And on one side will be an advert for the street party telling them all the great stuff that we're going to do. Obviously we want to get that to our friends and families too. And on the other side we'll be telling people about a 4-week series that we're going to be running in July on a Sunday night from 7:30 till 9. Almost looks like we've got a Nero's green light. Almost looks like we have, which would be amazing, won't it, to host it in Cafe Nero's. And Phil's going to lead a 4-week course that we're calling What If, where we're kind of exploring some of the what if questions people have about faith. And some provocative titles. So like one of the titles is, What If God Could Die? Because of course we believe in a God who did die, but he also rose again. So we've got some kind of interesting titles that we hope will draw people together. And we hope that even now, as we go through the Breaking News course, we'll be thinking of people who we definitely want to invite to the street party, and who hopefully might want to come to that What If course. And you can only come to the What If course if you bring someone. You can't just rock up to it yourself. You can only come if you bring someone. And we'd love to see that place filled. I think it takes about 60 or 70 people. And so it'd be amazing if we saw 30 non-Christians coming to that course. And we're thinking about a few different things during our services in July and August to draw more people in. And so that's our dream, that's our strategy, that's what we're praying for. And in the context of praying for seeing salvation to come, remember we've talked in the past that salvation isn't just about people coming back into relationship with God. It's defeating the power of sin over their life and receiving healing and wholeness too, which is why we're praying every single Sunday for people to get healed and people to come into the kingdom. And so that's the vision, that's why we're here. Really thrilled that you're here this evening, and that kind of sets the scene.